but man, Andrew, it really became real when you have a kid, right?
It
And I'm
does.
seeing more and more of this, like especially I'm a middle-aged millennial, I guess. I'm in my 30s, and a lot of the millennials, we kind of got late starts to having kids, and I'm hearing a lot more of my friends who I would say for decades identified themselves as maybe like politically moderate, left leaning, like they never really questioned anything. They're just like, government's not going to hurt us, right? That was kind of the thought process they had. But as they have kids, I start to see like, this little like gene of conservatism start to appear, and it starts to show itself. And I'm like, that wasn't there 15 years ago when we were in college together. So I'm hearing that and I'm seeing that, Andrew. Do you think that there is a chance that we're going to start to see the pendulum start to swing towards parents' rights, like actually supporting our kids to have some autonomy outside of this government schooling system? Or much like what we saw with Ms. Davis out at the CTU, like there are still a lot of folks who have this mentality that we own your kids. It feels like there's an inevitable collision coming here, Andrew. Where is this going to head?
I mean, the future is unknown and unknowable, but we can take some guesses. I think some of the factors that are at play here is prior to COVID, when people would send their kids to school, it just was so convenient. It was out of sight, out of mind.
Yep.
During COVID, they got a real world. Is it my decision or your decision? And when they realized it wasn't their decision, it shocked many people because they thought it was their decision and that they'd already made it.
Yep.
So they had to confront that. And then they started realizing, wow, there's a whole lot of other decisions that I should have that I don't have. So some of it is that mentality just changed, like the awareness changed. But some of the things that are happening are just pure demographic trends. So you're not the only person to have children older. That's actually becoming the norm. It used to be people had kids in their 20s.
Yep.
Now most people are having their kids in their late 30s into early 40s. And the consequence of being older is you have more money, you have more time, you have more of an invested interest in that. And one of the other things is you also happen to have a lot less kids generally. And so we see a population decline across the country, but you see a lot of parents who have free time, free money, and 1 or 2 children. And so they can put an intent focus on this. And so when you have these kind of cross waves going on of realizing that you're not in control, having the time, money, and resources to be in control, I think what's naturally going to happen is you're going to start to demand more. Your expectations are going to rise, and your tolerance for the pushback from the system is not going to be very high. And I think you see all those things happen is every time parents try to demand something and the system pushes back against them, parents aren't just being bogged down and stifled. They're breaking through the barriers